WBA World Junior Welterweight Boxing Championship. Aaron Pryor defends that crown for the 7th time against the WBA's #1 ranked contender SANG-HYUN Kim from Korea, a man who has won his last 12 fights. Right now we're in the locker room of Aaron Pryor, and the way you see this young man now is something unusual because once he hits the ring, he is perpetual motion. In fact, Pryor, one of the most exciting boxers in the game today. Hello again, everybody. I'm Don Chevrier. As you may have heard, this fight has been in jeopardy for much of the week. The U.S. Grand Prix Motocross Motorcycle Championships had been scheduled instead, but they'll be seen now at a future date. The fight is on, but here's what happened with it. The manager of Aaron Pryor, Buddy LaRosa, and Aaron have been feuding, it seems, the last little while, and so an injunction was granted earlier to prevent this bout from taking place here today. But in an unusual sitting of the Ohio Supreme Court just yesterday, that was overturned, and now the bout will go ahead here in Wide World of Sports. But along with the legal battles Pryor has been fighting, he's also had some medical problems. A nervous stomach brought him to a doctor at a local hospital on Wednesday, and then just this morning, he had to battle to make the weight limit of 140 pounds, and finally did just weigh in exactly at 140. So, Aaron, there's been a lot more on your mind than boxing the last few days, and I wonder how that affects you as you get ready for this bout.
Well, I've been preparing for this fight for 2 months, and we was down to the wire when we heard about the injunction, and it didn't bother me at all. I'm in good shape, and I think the Korean boy deserved a chance at the title, and I plan to give him a chance. And I just thank God that everybody hung in with me and believed that the fight was going to go on. I'm ready.
You haven't given many guys much of a chance once the fighting starts in the ring.
Well, I don't plan to give him one. I've asked my trainer to keep the car running, because we've been through a lot to get into the ring for this fight, and I'm ready.
Okay, Aaron, good luck to you. The WBA World Junior Welterweight Championship bout, scheduled for 15 rounds. Aaron Pryor, the defending champion, against SANG-HYUN Kim from Korea, the #1 ranked contender of the WBA. You can see them in the ring right now, and there is Aaron Pryor with a tremendous knockout record behind him. The reigning champion, making his 7th defense of the championship today, has not gone the distance since October 7th of 1977, unbeaten as a professional. 24 knockouts in a row in that total of 30 KOs you see in his 32 victories for Aaron Pryor, now living out of Miami, Florida. And the man he is going to fight is from Busan, Korea. He held the WBC version of this championship in 1980. Lost that crown in his 3rd title defense to Saul Mamby. He's the ranking #1 contender with the WBA and has won his last 12 fights in a row, and he has 25 knockouts to his credit. His first appearance outside of the Orient for SANG-HYUN Kim of Korea. He is not a typical Korean fighter, as you will see in the tail of the tape. He has a 5'9" height, 2.5 inches taller than Pryor, not as stocky as many Korean boxers. He made the weight easily. Pryor had struggled at 140 and just did make it, and Aaron Pryor has got an inch advantage in reach over Kim. Crowd excited about this one. The referee is from Panama, veteran international referee Carlos Barracal. He will have no say in the judging. That'll go to the 3 ringside officials, Marco Rodriguez and Hector Hernandez of Mexico, Nicholas Lorenzo Drake of Panama. 3 judges, 10-point must scoring system. It is scheduled for 15. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect, which means the fight ends if 3 take place for the same man in a single round. There's a mandatory 8 count, no standing 8 count. You can't be saved by the bell except the 15th round. We know a lot about Pryor. After watching the fight of the year he won from Arguello last November, we do not know very much about the man from Korea, SANG-HYUN Kim. We're about to find out, as Pryor is. We do know that Kim is a southpaw. Round 1 is underway. And Pryor typically, as Kim stumbles there, off balance, comes flying out at his opponent. That's a trademark of Aaron Pryor. So a shaky start to him, perhaps a little intimidated by Pryor lunging out at him. Pryor can be a boxer, he can be a slugger, be almost anything he wants to be, and tends to be a little wild at times. Fighting the southpaw Kim, who's doing little else but cover up now and try to figure out what's coming at him. The person of Aaron Pryor here in this first round. Kim has been stationary over in that far corner almost since the bout began, and it seems to be in no hurry about getting out of there. Good right by Pryor, snaps through. All Pryor so far, semblance of counter-punching there from Kim. He looks very tentative and very wary, but he drives the left to Pryor's body. Kim obviously feeling his way and feeling some blows from Pryor in the early seconds of this fight. He doesn't move, he just stands in one place and makes almost a half-hearted attempt at defending himself. You say it's so difficult to know about a fighter who's only appeared in the Orient until now. This is being televised back to the people of Korea. As we're past the midway mark of round one, it's been all Aaron Pryor. And I'm sure that Pryor has had much stiffer opposition from the most mediocre of sparring partners compared to what Kim has been doing here. So far, at least very early, Kim, totally unimpressive. Very awkward, very slow. Not really willing to mix it, content to stay on the ropes. A very dangerous thing to have happen as, again, Pryor shoots the right through. Pryor's a little bit off balance by this very awkward, surprising style of Kim. Indeed, a most unconventional start. Less than 30 seconds to go in the first round here at the Sands in Atlantic City. Oh, a good right thrown by Pryor just off the break as Kim turned away from him. The way it is starting, I can't see this one lasting very long, but you don't know. The second's winding down to end the first round, scheduled for 15.